Hello, welcome back to General Science. It's been a while since you've seen my face on our General Science videos because I've been presenting information that way. But today I thought I'd actually talk to you guys because why not? And we don't really need a lot of fancy pictures and diagrams to explain what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about compounds. The last time we talked about elements in the periodic table, but today we're going to talk about what happens when those elements combine into something new. A compound is just the word for anything made of more than one element. Okay, so for instance, water is a compound. It has two elements in it, hydrogen and oxygen. And so we call that a compound. Okay? Now, compounds are pretty cool and they're very important in chemistry, and here's the reason why. Elements have particular traits that they have because they're elements, right? Because of their electron configuration, because of all those things that make up that element, they have specific physical and chemical traits. Now, what's cool about compounds is that when you take all these different elements together and you push them into something new and you make a compound, those traits change. Okay, let's take one of my favorite examples of this, sodium chloride, which is table salt. Okay, you eat table salt, you eat it every day. You have french fries, you're eating table salt. You eat fried chicken, table salt. Pretty much anything you eat, right? Any meal you have, you're going to have some amount of salt when you're eating. Okay, now salt, right? It's not particularly great for you, right? We've learned that over the last couple decades, right? You're not supposed to eat a ton of it, but you can, and it makes things taste great. And you add it to your food, right? That's something that you can do. You can sprinkle your food with salt and make it taste different. We used it as a food preserve for many, many, many years, right? That's how we cured meat. That's how we kept things fresh. We covered it in salt, right? So those sorts of things, right, are some things that salt can do. Now let's talk about the things that make salt. We got sodium and we've got chlorine, right? These are the two elements that make up table salt. Now sodium, if you don't know, is highly reactive. So reactive, in fact, that if you take sodium and you throw it in water, it explodes. It lights on fire, right? That's how reactive it is. That's not exactly something that you'd want to put in your body, which is 70% water, right? That's the kind of stuff that sodium is, right? So that's not exactly something you would want to put in your body. And chlorine, you'd probably know, is what we use to treat pool water, right? It is also in its effect highly reactive, and it's not something that you want to ingest, right? Chlorine gas can kill you. Um, right? It's not exactly something fantastic that you want to put in your body, but together, combined together, they create something that we eat on a daily basis. Right? That's the power of compounds. You can change these elements into something new that has different effects on your body, on their environment. They have different characteristics. Things can change. That's super cool. All right. So, thinking about that, there's all sorts of different ways that we can use these elements to combine them and use them in new and exciting ways. Okay. Everything you've ever interacted with, for the most part, has been some sort of compound, right? The food you eat, the things you play with, plastic, right? Plastic's a compound. The oil you put in your car, the gas, that is all a compound, right? And they've been specifically created for that purpose out of the 120 elements that we have, right? So it's really fascinating that we can take the 120 or so building blocks that we have, these elemental building blocks, and combine them in different ways, different shapes to do different things. And that's a lot of what chemistry is about, taking a look at how we can combine these elements to make new and exciting things that can do good for us and for the environment and for the planet. And so um, here's something that I want you to do. I don't really give homework on this series, but here's something that I want you to think about. It's not really even on that homework. It's just a thought. It's a thought thing. Okay. Think about the things that you that you use most in life, and try to think about what elements, what compounds are needed to make those things possible. And then even after that, think about all the science that went in to making those compounds a possibility. It's not just we're going to push some stuff into a test tube and then poof, we've made plastic. It doesn't work that way. It took a lot of time, it took a lot of effort, it takes a lot of thinking and back work um, to make sure that we can make these things and that they're safe. Um, so take some time and think about that a little bit. Um, and then get ready for the next episode because we're going to start talking about chemical reactions and what that all entails. How do we actually make these things? How do we make compounds? How do we have compounds interact with each other? What do reactions do? And all of that sort of thing. So that's going to be our next episode. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about compounds and how cool they are. And next time we'll talk about how we get there. We're definitely going to have more than one reaction video. We're going to talk about them more generally. And then we might have a video where we show off a chemical reaction. And then we're probably going to talk about um, the nomenclature and how we actually write out chemical reactions as scientists. And that's going to be a whole nother episode too. So there's going to be several different reaction episodes to look forward to, especially if you're in like a chemistry class and you want to know about balancing chemical equations, that kind of stuff. There will be an episode about that, so don't worry. Once again, thanks for watching. See you next time.